Hey everybody, I'm State Representative Maurice West of the 67th District in Rockford, and I'm really excited to be here to talk to you and to celebrate with you the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. Before I get started, let me read the famous quote of Dr. King that happens to be the theme of today. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Kids, I want to say that one more time, and I want you to hear every word that I'm saying and dissect and really think beyond the word and what the word means to you. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. So let me tell you my story. I'm going to give you two sections of my story. I'm going to give you my story of when I was in your shoes as a middle schooler. And I'm going to give you the story of the shoes I'm in now as your state representative. Kids, I remember plain as day. I went to Eisenhower Middle School. And I remember I wasn't the one to fly. I wasn't. I got cut from the basketball team. I got talked about a lot. And for kids, I'm not just saying this to tell you a story that could relate. This is the God honest truth. I got cut from the basketball team. I didn't know who I was. I was still working out myself and who I wanted to hang with and who I wanted to be. And so there was two different camps of individuals, and I was trying to hang out with both of them, and neither of them would accept me. I was an outlier. And so I got discouraged, and many of you feel that way at times. I want to let you know that this moment that you're in, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, the mindset that you develop now about yourself, let's stay focused on just you within. The mindset that you put together now can either make or break your future. Let me tell you why. Because whatever mindset you put together now, if you know and if you're confident that you have a bright future ahead of you and you stay focused, then high school will be a 4 years that you make sure you have good grades, that you can be able to get into college or to an apprenticeship or a good paying job so that you can start your life. Or if you're more focused on being accepted by anyone and everyone, you're going to sway as the wind blows. Grades may not be the focus. College may not be the focus. Finding a job may not be the focus. And before you know it, high school, you have a low GPA, which leads to you not going to college or struggling to get into an apprenticeship or a trade and struggling to get a job that can make an income that you like and make you feel better about yourself. And before you know it, it's a spiral downward effect. You're in a position right now, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, that if you don't keep moving forward and staying focused on what you want and who you are, then it could make life a little bit difficult. Let me take away that little bit. It can make life difficult for you moving forward. This is the time. I understand. You may not know what you want to do when you grow up. That's okay. You may still be trying to find yourself. Keep going. But one thing you do know right here, right now, is that when you're in school, your focus is to get good grades, right? Your focus is to accomplish and succeed in your academics. If you play sports, your focus is to be good at that, right? If you are yearning for friendship, your focus is to be friendly. But do know that whoever you bring around you can cause you to lose focus on the future. Whoever you bring around you can help cause you to stop moving forward. Let me go back to my story. So I told you I got cut. It was hard for me to find friends. I struggled in school. I did. Peers, those around me, talked about me, especially when I got cut. They talked about me and made it seem like I was a failure, right? Or whatever that sport or whatever that event is that you did not make it, and people talk about you, make you feel like a loser. I put it in air quotes because you and I both know that you're not a loser. But they come at you as if you're a loser, right? They came at me as I'm a loser, and look at me now. I kept moving forward, and I can't give myself all the credit. I made sure I had the right people around me. I made sure I made friends with those who were moving forward as well. I made sure I made friends with those who were focused on doing things that were to help them become better. And so when I got to high school, I went to Jefferson High, and I tried to do the same thing. This time I did not get cut from the basketball team. But I didn't play. I did not get cut from the football team, but I barely played. And I was called a loser then too. I remember my senior year, freshmen were coming up to the varsity team and taking the starting positions while I sat on the bench. They called me losers. They talked about me like crazy, right? But I knew by then that greatness was ahead of me. And I'm not saying that out of arrogance. I'm saying it because I desired to remain focused on being a better Maurice, being a better man for myself, not for others, for myself. I desire to stay focused on the fact that life will be better because I'm going to work hard to get there. I'm going to stay focused on what is important, my grades, the right friends, my family, getting money in my pocket, getting a part-time job. I stay focused on those things. So when they talked about me, it didn't hurt me as much as it did when I was in middle school, because I knew that this was just a stepping stone to what was next. I knew by then I wanted to go to college. So y'all can talk about me all you want. By the time I get to college, I will make new friends. And I'll be able to expand who I am as an individual even more. Look at me now. Right? And so I went on to college. I went on to grad school, which is 2 years after college. And I came back to Rockford. Shortly after coming back to Rockford and finding a full-time job at Rock Valley College, I had the desire to run for office. I ran for city council, to work in City Hall. Guess what? I lost. I lost bad. I was on the losing end of that race. It's one of the worst feelings in the world, right? A lot of you, even now as middle schoolers, you've experienced loss. I'm not just talking about loss of a loved one. I'm talking about you wanted something so bad, but you still came up short and you did not make it. Sometimes when that happens, you feel like a loser, right? I totally get it. Sometimes when that happens, you feel like that you are weak, that you weren't meant for this, that you weren't cut out for this. I totally get it, right? Remember, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl, right? And sometimes you feel like when you try to fly, you fall. And sometimes it just feels better. It's easier just to sit there and mope and say, woe is me, and just think about what just happened and be mad about it. family, you got to get up, dust yourself off. So I got up and dusted myself off after losing that first race to city council. And a couple years later, I ran for another seat. I no longer worked at Rock Valley College, so I ran to be on the board of Rock Valley College. I'm like, I used to work there. I should be able to do it, right? I lost. That's 0 for 2. 0 for 2. I lost twice. And this time, I'm like, maybe I'm just not cut out for this. People don't like me. People don't want me, right? I don't have what it takes to be in politics. Why in the heck am I in politics? Sometimes I'm still trying to figure that out. But it was very discouraging. Oh, I got depressed. I got mad. I got mad at people. I started lashing out at people, especially those around me who didn't help me. They didn't help me. My friends did not help me to run for this office, for the seat, and I lost. So I'm angry, right? Remember that. I'm angry at those around me who did not help me, right? But I found out during that process that not everyone is meant to go where you are meant to be. Not everyone is meant to help you get there, because that's just not their cup of tea. It's yours. It's yours. But what we often do is, when we see things around us, the external factors around us that causes us to that we feel causes us to lose sight of what we're trying to do, we derail our whole purpose altogether because of people around us. Kids, I'm here to tell you, you can do this by yourself. It starts by yourself. You have to start within yourself to make sure you get to where you want to go. You have to always keep moving forward. So for 6 years, from the first time I ran for office to when I finally won my first seat, for 6 years, it felt like I was crawling. A little bit between crawling and walking, but it felt like more of a crawl. Because it was nothing but losses. It was nothing but being looked over. People picking somebody else over me. People looking at other individuals who I know were not as talented as me, but they got picked over me. It was 6 years of that. But I didn't give up. Oh, trust me, I wanted to. Matter of fact, I did. I said, I'm done with this. In 2017, after the second loss, I was like, I'm done. But then the state representative seat opened up. The state representative seat that I'm currently in opened up. And I ran for the third time. And I was really scared because, as y'all know, either third time's a charm or 3 strikes you're out. And so I didn't want to take that chance. I'm already 0 for 2, right? And I don't want to be that person who loses every race they run for. I remember how I felt when I was in middle school. I remember how I felt when I was in high school, to always come up short and to always feel like I'm always losing. I remember how that felt as a grown man. I'm 36 now. I was about 33 at the time. I remember how it felt to be in your shoes. I still remember. But I still did it. I still crawled through this process. It felt like a crawl. And then when I ran, I said, okay, I'm gonna run for state rep. I got up to walk. And then I started doing the work and letting people talk about me. Oh, it was dirty. People would lie on me and say dirty, mean things about me so that my opponents, so that they can win and not me. But I kept on walking. I kept on moving forward. And then I finally won a seat. And not only did I win, I won big. Do you know why I won big? Okay, let me backtrack. What I mean by winning big is when I'm in first place And second place is not here. Second place is way down here. That's how big I won. And you know what helped me to win that much? The fact that I lost twice. The fact that I lost twice helped me to win the third time in a big way. Because I learned from those losses. And I changed the way I operated to become better. The only way you become a loser is when you don't take the time to learn from your shortcomings, from your loss. So I'm not a loser. Even though I lost twice, I'm not a loser. Because I learned something from that. It made me bigger, faster, and stronger. It made me bolder. It made me fearless. How is that being a loser? So, I went 0 for 2. I won big because I was 0 for 2, because people know my name, because I was on the ballot before, because I put my name out there before. And so I became 1 for 2, right? Now let's fast forward to now, in January of 2022. Currently I am 4 for 2. Since then, I've won 4 times, won 4 elections, 2 primaries, 2 generals. I won 4 elections, and so now I'm on a winning streak. Because I kept moving forward. Now, has it been easy? Nah. Do not let this nice tie and this crisp lining fool you. It was tough. Even to this day, January 14th, 2022, it's tough within. I gotta remind myself that I am somebody special. I gotta remind myself who I am. I gotta remind myself because of the insecurities, right? And so it's a constant battle of making sure you keep moving forward. But one thing I'm really excited about for you all at RESA, you have what it takes to keep moving forward. You have what it takes to keep moving forward. So, remember what earlier I talked about my difficult time in middle school, right? Couldn't make friends. People looked over me. I was bullied a lot. I was never popular. Well, now I am popular. And now I make sure that I remember how it felt to be the one who felt like they weren't popular. What I'm saying is, when you get to the place where you are becoming successful, don't forget where you came from. And I'm not saying come back to Rockford. I would love for you to do that. I'm talking about the experiences. Don't forget where you came from. Don't forget how it felt when people looked over you. Don't forget how it felt to crawl and to walk. When you start running, when you start flying, don't forget how it felt when you wanted to fly so bad. Because there's people behind you. There's people looking to you who you can help them understand which way to go in this thing called life. And that's what I'm doing to you for you. I'm a product of the Rockford Public Schools just like you. And I'm your state representative. If I can do this, you can too. If I can do this, you can too. I hope for a prosperous, successful academic year for every single one of you. I implore you, I encourage you to stay focused on your dream. Because if you stay focused on your dream, you will get there. You will. And if you don't get to the specific dream you want, you'll land on your feet quite nice. I promise you. I would tell you that story, but I'm at the 20-minute mark. I don't know every single one of you, but I love you. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to talk to you. be successful, stay focused, and remember that though you may feel like you're crawling and walking now, keep doing it, because one day you'll start running and flying. I hope all is well with you and the family. Talk to you soon.